the eagle, the jackdaw, and the shepherd. One day a jackdaw saw an eagle swoop down on a lamb and carried it off in his talons. "My word," said the jackdaw, "I'll do that myself." So he flew high up into the air and then came shooting down with a great whirring of wings onto the back of the big ram. It had no sooner alighted than its claws got caught so fast in the wall, nothing it could do was of any use. There it stuck, flapping away and only making things worse instead of better. By and by up came the shepherd. "Oh," he said, "so that's what you'll be doing, is it?" And he took the jackdaw and clipped its wings and carried it home for his children. It looked so odd that they didn't know what to make of it. "What sort of bird is it, father?" they asked. "It's a jackdaw," he replied, "and nothing but a jackdaw, but it wants to be taken for an eagle. If you attempt what is beyond your power, your trouble will be wasted and your court not only misfortune and ridicule." The Wolf and the Boy. A wolf, who had just enjoyed a good meal and was on a playful mood, caught sight of a boy lying flat upon the ground, and realizing that he was trying to hide, and that it was fear of himself that made him do this, he went up to him and said, "Ah, I found you, you see, but if you can say 3 things to me, the truth of which cannot be disputed, I will spare your life." The boy plucked up the courage and thought for a moment, and then he said, "First, it's a pity you saw me. Secondly, I was a fool to let myself be seen. And thirdly, we all hate wolves because they are always making unprovoked attacks upon our flocks." The wolf replied, "Well, what you say is true enough from your point of view, so you may go." The miller, his son, and their ass. A miller, accompanied by his young son, was driving his ass to the market in hopes of finding a purchaser for him. On the road they met a troop of girls, laughing and talking, who exclaimed, "Did you ever see such a pair of fools to be trudging along the dusty road when they might be riding?" The miller thought there was a sense in what they said, so he made his son mount the ass, and himself walked along the side. Presently they met some old cronies who greeted them and said, "You'll spoil your son of yours, letting him ride whilst you toil along on foot. Make him walk, young lazy bones. It will do him all the good in the world." The miller followed their advice and took his son's place on the back of the ass while the boy trudged along behind. They had not gone far when they overtook a party of women and children, and the miller heard them say, "What a selfish old man! He himself rides in comfort, but lets his poor little boy follow as best as he can on his own legs." So he made his son get up behind him, and further along the road they met travellers, who asked the miller whether the ass was riding was his own property or a beast hired for the occasion. He replied that it was his own, and that he was taking the market to sell. "Good heavens," said they, "with a load like that, what the poor beast will do will be so exhausted by the time he gets there, and no one will look at him. Why, you'd do better to carry him." "Anything to please you," said the old man. "We can but try." So they got off and tied the ass's legs together with a rope and slung him on a pole, and at last reached the town, carrying them between them. This was so absurd a sight that the people ran out in crowds and to laugh at it, and chaffed the father and son unmercifully, some even calling them lunatics. They had then got to a bridge over the river, where the ass, frightened by the noise and his unusual situation, kicked and struggled till he broke the rope that bound him, and fell into the water and was drowned, whereupon the unfortunate miller, vexed and ashamed, made the best of his way home again, convinced that in trying to please all he had pleased none, and lost his ass into the bargain. The Stag and the Vine. A stag, pursued by the huntsman, concealed himself under the cover of a thick vine. They lost track of him and passed by his hiding place without being aware that he was anywhere near. Supposing all danger be over, he presently began to browse the leaves of the vine. The movement drew attention to the returning huntsman, and one of them supposed some animal be hidden there. Shot an arrow into the venture of the foliage. The unlucky stag was pierced in the heart, and as he expired, he said, "I deserve my fate for my treachery in feeding upon the leaves of my protector." Ingratitude sometimes brings its own punishment. The lamb chased by a wolf. A wolf was chasing a lamb which took refuge in a temple. The wolf urged it to come out of the precincts and said, "If you don't, the priest is sure to catch you and offer you up in a sacrifice at the altar." To which the lamb replied, "Thanks, I think I'll stay where I am. I'd rather be sacrificed any day than be eaten up by a wolf."